MMA Fighting presents Timeline, Ilia Topuria versus Max Holloway. February 4th, 2012. UFC 143 Diaz versus Condit, Las Vegas, Nevada. The 4-0 Hawaiian Max Holloway makes his UFC debut against WEC veteran Dustin Poirier as an early prelim for the UFC pay-per-view. Holloway suffers his first career defeat, submitting to triangle armbar in round 1.
Did he throw anything at you out there that you didn't expect?
A couple of things he threw I expected. A kickboxer to throw body kicks, good crosses down the middle. He was trying to counter me. I was throwing an outside leg kick. He was trying to counter me with the cross every time I threw it. He ended up touching my chin, kind of flashed me a little bit. Then he threw we circled, we mixed again. He threw a flying knee, or I don't know if it was the knee or the shin. The way he throws his knees weren't like a normal flying knee. He kind of like jumps up and it looks like, it's kind of weird what he was doing, but something hit me and flashed me, and I knew I had to put the pressure on him. And once I got him against the fence, I have an 8-week strength and conditioning program. I feel really strong at 145. So he almost got away from the takedown, but I got him down. And once we hit the ground, I showed that I do practice jiu-jitsu.
Holloway would go on to win his next 3 fights, including a victory over Leonard Garcia before losing a close match against Dennis Bermudez.
Post-fight at UFC 150 alongside Max Holloway, who defeated Justin Lawrence tonight. And Max, congratulations on a fantastic performance. Would you say that was your best thus far in the UFC?
Oh yes, man, best by far. I finally got a finish. I really don't have that much finishes on my record. I want to finish fights.
You're 20 years old, the youngest fighter in the UFC. How are you so confident and calm inside the octagon there? How's this not getting to you?
Man, where I'm from? I'm from the city in a city called Waianae in Oahu, Hawaii, and you just gotta grow up fast, man. I saw things at a young age, and I told myself I don't want to be like those guys. I saw guys who I don't want to be like, and you just gotta, go above the influence.
Looking back on this year, you make your UFC debut, you took that fight on short notice, you come back, you look very good, you look, obviously very solid here tonight. This is a positive year for Max Holloway, and are you excited about 2013 building off this?
I'm excited, baby, about 2013. I got 3 wins in a row, and like I said before, to be the best, you got to beat the best, and that's what I plan on doing. I'm young. I go back in the gym, take a week off, go back in the gym, get training hard again, and wait for the call.
August 17th, 2013, UFC Fight Night 26, Shogun versus Sonnen, Boston, Massachusetts. For his 5th UFC fight in 18 months, Holloway is set to face red-hot Irish prospect Conor McGregor on the prelims. Holloway loses to McGregor by unanimous decision. The fight was expected to be a striking battle, but each fighter suffered leg injuries in the match, McGregor with a knee injury and Holloway with an ankle injury. April 26, 2014. UFC 172, Jones versus Teixeira, Baltimore, Maryland. After getting back on the winning track with a knockout victory over Will Chope, Holloway returns to the octagon to face another young prospect, Andre Feely. Holloway would show off his submission skills with an impressive guillotine choke in round 3. Holloway would go on to win 3 more fights over Clay Collard, Akira Corassani, and Cole Miller. April 18th, 2015. UFC on Fox 15, Rockhold versus Machida, Newark, New Jersey. Now on an impressive 5-fight win streak, Holloway is set to face top contender Cub Swanson.
So, your story is a great one because you're so young. You're 24, correct? Or you're about to turn 24. And you came into the UFC at such a young age, short notice fight, right? And we didn't really get to see the real you. Then after the Poirier fight, I think we got a sense of that. And then you stumbled a little bit, but now recently, 5 in a row, and you've looked incredible. What's been the biggest difference as of late?
My maturity, and that first couple of fights, I didn't really have a striking coach. It was only me and my boy Dustin Kimura. We was helping each other out, and just being each other's mint man, and it was hard, because we wanted to be full-time fighters, so it's hard holding mitts for each other and working with each other. But now I got 2 striking coaches. Now I got Ivan Flores over at Legacy Muay Thai, and then I got Hawaii Elite MMA, Charles Kilipi. So it's awesome, it's great. And Now I got guys that can worry about watching fight and breaking down fights and making combinations, and I don't have to worry too much about it.
So when you look at, the Max who fought, say, Conor McGregor, do you say this is a completely different guy?
You know, it is. I would say not completely different, but it's different. You know, a lot of people would tell me, oh, I can't wait to watch that fight. You know, the first fight was so good. I was like, I just don't see it. You know, I don't see how the first fight was so good. Yeah, I went 50 minutes of the guy, whoop-de-doo, you know. But I'm telling everybody right now, you know, the second fight, we're gonna cross paths again, and the second fight is gonna be a great one.
In a breakout performance, Holloway dominates Swanson and finishes him by submission late in the third round. The victory earns Performance of the Night honors for Holloway, who would follow up this victory with wins over future lightweight champion Charles Oliveira and then Jeremy Stevens.
As far as changing of the guards, newcomer against old school, you had a great performance by Max Holloway over Cub Swanson. What a tremendous win, 6 in a row. You're on fire, my friend. We should do this more often. How impressed are you with Max Holloway, and how close is he from that title talk at this point?
Well, I sort of mentioned too, like, the rematch that none of us ever really contemplated all of a sudden becomes a thing that you're like, whoa, what happens now at 23 and looking like he does, and how much he's added in this short amount of time if he fights Conor McGregor again. All of a sudden these things play back. That tells you how great of a performance it was for him to just be now mentioned in that space of title contention at all. But you're right. These matchups tonight were exactly those groundbreaking performances that you needed to see from the guys who are sort of that cusp, the cuspers who are coming up and they're trying to take the place and be in that top 10 space. We saw a lot of that tonight, and occasionally you get these cards and it just sort of, flushes the system and gets it all new again. But to do that against Cub Swanson, man, it's pretty impressive. That guy was on a 6-fight winning streak before the Frankie Edgar thing, and he had everything to sort of, every bit of motivation coming into this fight to really put on a performance and show that was, a fluky thing or whatever, and he could not get things rolling. He didn't have many answers for what Max Holloway was doing. So in my mind, that was the performance of the night.
I just want to fight the best. You know, a lot of people, this fight, they were saying I was gonna get annihilated on the feet. My best chances on the ground and this and that. I was tripping out. I was like, I'm not even a ground fighter, and I striked all my fights at. And it's just now it's just crazy because all the same guys is like going on and telling me, oh my gosh, you're not gonna beat the next guy. Like they're saying Chad Mendes or Ricardo Lamas or Frankie Edgar. Like there's always somebody else, There's always somebody else that's gonna annihilate me, I fought the fight of my life, and people's not happy with that, I guess.
Do you have a preference who you fight next? Is there someone in mind?
I don't care, man. Whoever, I'd fight whoever, I'd love to get that McGregor fight. Everybody's like, oh, McGregor beat you with an ACL. He just destroyed you, this and that. I was like, yeah, okay, cool, but not too much people knew I was injured, and then when I came out with it, then people was like, oh, you're just making an excuse now. Why you come out 2 years later, because I didn't want to cry about it, It's something that I didn't want. I'm not that person, but it just gets to a point where these guys just get under your skin, keep saying you got annihilated with a guy with blown ACL, blah, blah. It's just frustrating,
What was wrong with you?
I got a high ankle sprain in the first 30 seconds of that fight. I kicked him in his knee, and then I kicked him in his elbow, and right in the first 30 seconds, I just could not move. And I tell everyone, go watch any Max Holloway fight. When do I ever move straight back?
Right.
Go tell me. Go point out any fight. If you go watch my fight, you know that wasn't me, And a lot of people is like, oh, this and that. Like, oh no, you were that was the best you, this and that. He had his stuff. McGregor got hurt at the ending of the second round, at the ending of the second round, and he got hurt on the ground, so he took me down, So I was thinking, like, that's my point exactly. Like, all these guys say that he's gonna knock me out this next time. He had 2 rounds to knock me out before he got injured, So where was it? I don't know. I don't see it.
June 4th, 2016. UFC 199, Rockhold vs. Bisping 2, Inglewood, California. Holloway faces perennial top contender Ricardo Lamas. Holloway wins by decision to pick up his 9th consecutive victory. And while Holloway's performance as a whole stood out, it was the final seconds of the fight that fans remembered, as for the first time, Holloway did his iconic point to the mat, leading to a fight-ending slug-off.
When was the first time that you did that?
Was the Ricardo fight.
You never did that in training or in any other like small time fight? That was the first time ever?
Yeah, that was like, you know, I try at the ending of the fights, I try to throw down for like the last 10 seconds, but I never really made it known. You know, I try to stay there and be like, oh, 10 seconds, might as well just swing, you know, see what happens. But that last fight, Ricardo, like if you watch, he taunted me like 3 times, and I was thinking like in my mind like, why the hell you taunting me? You know, if you want it, you can get it. Then you know, I decided to just stand my ground. You know, so it was crazy.
What's your dream fight at this point?
You know, my dream fight is either the rematch with Conor or a fight with Aldo. You know, because you know, I always wanted to fight Aldo since his WEC days. Before I even was in the UFC, he was the best guy forever. You know, I always wanted to fight him. And then of course the Conor fight. You know, people keep saying, telling me that, harassing me on top of Twitter and stuff, that he had a torn ACL and he couldn't finish me and this and that. But it is what it is. You know, go tell your boy Conor, prove it that he can finish me. Take the fight. You know, I keep calling him out. I keep seeing, you know, I keep talking, and he's not talking about me. He's talking about a bunch of other guys that he fought before.
December 10th, 2016, UFC 206, Holloway versus Pettis, Toronto, Canada. Holloway is booked in his first pay-per-view main event opposite former lightweight champion Anthony Pettis.
Watch every single fight. The thing with Max Holloway, I grow every single fight. You guys can go watch the tape. Watch the fight from Jeremy to Oliveira to Jeremy to what's his name, Lamis, the Cub fight. Watch all those fights. I grow. I show something more better. And my plan in there is to finish you. If I don't finish you, I'm making you guys right the next day and be like, holy shit, why is this guy in with Max Holloway and who's next, you know? So that's what I've been saying, you know, this whole camp. Everybody's gonna have someone who's next, you know? It's just time to, we came to that point where you guys just need to all agree and be like, Max is the freaking man. He's the best guy on planet Earth. So that's the time that we're here now.
Holloway finishes Pettis late in the 3rd round via strikes. Max Blessed Holloway is the new interim UFC featherweight champion.
It's been a hell of a ride, man. And we're just getting started, man. Tune on in, man. Tune in. This is just the beginning. You know, I said it in there in February, you know, and then when everything was slowing down, I was in the back. I was thinking of, I already had to give up Thanksgiving for this fight. I had to give up my birthday. And, you know, and it's hard to find the guy, you know, like I said, you know, hashtag Jose, where's Jose Waldo, and let me know when you find him, you know, teamwork is the dream work, you know, if more of us is looking for him, we're gonna find him together, but we see what happens, you know, I don't know, I don't want to give up my son's birthday and Christmas for February 11th and he don't show up, you know, this guy has an act for not showing up to the fight, so we see what happens, you know, maybe, I gotta talk to Dana White first, man, I got a brunch that I want to do, sit down with him and Sean Selby, and we can talk. We can talk some business.
Now that you're the interim champion, are you willing, you know, in the worst case scenario where Aldo is for some reason unable to defend over the next 6 months or something, will you entertain an interim title defense?
Of course, I'm the best man alive. Like I said, everybody always give me shit. Like, oh, why you wanted to fight Aldo? Why are you not calling out Conor? You know, it's like, look, Conor's booked. Why I'm gonna call out a guy who's already have a fight? I was looking out for Aldo. I thought he wanted to fight, and this guy is saying he's the best in the world. Come and prove it. You know, I don't believe in guys waiting for title shots. That means you fucking pussy. You don't believe that you're the best guy in the world, you know? I believe I'm the best damn guy in the world. If I gotta defend this thing 10 times before I get the undisputed thing, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna prove to you guys, prove to myself, and prove to everyone that I'm the best motherfucker walking on 2 feet. And you guys are all gonna witness it. This is the Bless show now, you know? I'm taking over.
June 3rd, 2017, UFC 212, Aldo versus Holloway, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Holding the interim title, Max Holloway is set to face champion Jose Aldo at the Junis Arena in a UFC Featherweight Championship unification bout.
Saying, oh, but they both lost to Conor McGregor. This belt is Conor McGregor's. Does it bother you?
It doesn't bother me at all.
Conor McGregor should be proud. Like, listen to this. He should be proud. He's a 2015 champion, you know? He walk around with your belt, you know? Guess what? DJ got 11 belts. He should walk around every single belt. You know, I go back to basketball. LeBron James got 3 rings. What you gonna tell him? You're gonna tell him, oh, you can't walk around with your 3 rings. Why? He deserved the damn thing. Conor McGregor is a champion in 2015. Get that one thing straight. What year are we in today? What year? 2017. 2017. This is a new champ. You gotta play to be the champ. You gotta play, and he's not playing. You know, just like I'm gonna go back to LeBron James then. Imagine if LeBron James then just won last year against Golden State. They won the finals against Golden State. They're playing Golden State again. Imagine LeBron came out and be like, guys, we're not playing the final this year. We beat them last year. We're the champs. In what sport does that work? Does that work in soccer?
Holloway stops Aldo via 3rd round TKO and is now the undisputed UFC featherweight champion.
Every time I'm the most nervous in the back when they're telling you, you know, 5 minutes, you know, 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Okay, it's time to make the walk. But once I'm making that walk, it's like Mike Tyson said, man, you know, you get your nerves, but you just keep your confidence keep going. Just like Mike Tyson, I feel untouchable. I feel like a god in there, you know, and our game, and I already knew our game plan was gonna work. You know, there's enough tape, and you know, Aldo's he's one of the greatest ever, you know, but it's just time for a new era, you know. It's time for the new wave of guys, you know. Us young guys is coming up, and we're proving it, and we're showing to the world that we're here to stay. We're taking over, you know. Like I said, you know, MMA is a forever evolving, you know. You either evolve with the sport or you get left behind, you know. So I'm trying to lead the pack. I'm trying to sprint, and everybody telling me like, oh, why is Max not doing this, that, and that? Like, look, guys, it's not a 3-round fight, you know. It's not a sprint, you know. I got 5 rounds now, and the guy likes to fade later, so you know, it's just, you know, drawing him slowly.
When they put the belt around you, how would you describe that? Was that, I mean, I'm sure you've dreamt of that moment before, being crowned the champion. What did it feel like?
Oh, man, I can't put it into words, you know. I can't put it into words. I was tripping out, you know. I gave a bunch of people was giving Bruce shit and Bruce Buffer and I kind of tripped out too because Bruce announced "and now." Yeah. I didn't get my "and new," so I told Bruce. I saw Bruce later on in the night. I told Bruce, the next one you need to say "and new" and still, just so I can just hear you say "and new," you know. But it was fun, man. It was crazy. I cannot. The emotions was crazy, you know. I knew how much it meant to my family and me and all of Hawaii or even the world. I knew how it meant to them to see me get the interim, you know. So when I got that one, it was just when I got the undisputed, it was just amazing, you know. I was just imagining Hawaii going off with fireworks again, you know. I was like, this is great, this is a cool thing, and it was just, I can't explain it, man. It's something that you gotta experience yourself.
December 2nd, 2017, UFC 218, Holloway versus Aldo 2, Detroit, Michigan. Originally booked as Max Holloway versus Frankie Edgar, a few weeks out, Edgar is forced to withdraw from his title bid due to injury. The UFC books former champion Jose Aldo, who was already booked to face Ricardo Lamas in Winnipeg, to rematch the champ as the main event for UFC 218.
You just squared off with him. You've had a few of those now with Aldo. Do you see anything different in the guy?
Same guy. Same exact guy. You know, hopefully 100% Aldo shows up Saturday night, and I get to prove my legacy, cement my legacy, and you know, move on with my life.
I know you said all the right things when Edgar pulled out. You said, just tell me who it is. I don't care. I want to fight Detroit. I'll be there. But is it hard to get motivated for a guy that you just beat, that you just kind of proved the point against, and it was such a long, drawn-out process? Like, wouldn't it have been nice to face a fresh face?
You know, not at all. You know, that last fight, I'm like Finding Nemo. Call me Dory. You know, it's short time memory loss. It happened. It is what it is. And like I said, we got cupcakes coming. Of course, I got 250 cupcakes coming in tomorrow for me. I'm looking to. There's new ones. You know, there's new flavors. I was looking forward to the new flavors. But I know if the new flavors don't show up, guess what? There's a bunch of cupcakes that I know is gonna be in there that I'm gonna enjoy. So all these guys is like cupcakes to me. You know, anybody can get it. I don't care. I'm not picky. I love it, and anyone can get it.
Holloway successfully defends his title, once again finishing Aldo with a third-round TKO.
I recently heard about Aldo's his motivation for this fight was his daughter, and me being a parent with my son, I get it. But that guy should know he doesn't have to owe anybody anything. That guy's one of the greatest of all time. I think Brazil should be building statues of that guy in all the favelas, man. He's a legend, he's a GOAT, and I got a lot to feel. So, but to your question, I told you guys before, there's a quote going around. I told you guys, if I beat you one time, the second time is going to be worse, and then the third time you should rethink your life about accepting the fight. But just joking. But we knew it. After the first round, I walked up to Joe Rogan and John Anik. I told him the guy's tired. He's tired already. In the third round, I dropped my hands. I was telling him to punch me. I was like, bro, this is where you punch me. Punch me in the face. I'm daring you. I was telling him, I dare you. I dare you to punch me now. And it went well. Things went my way. I think so. I landed, he landed some shots. My shots just seemed to hurt him a little bit more. So everything went my night tonight. But like I said, the guy's a GOAT, man. I had nothing but respect for him and his team and his family and all of Brazil.
Max Holloway is the reigning, defending UFC featherweight champion. He wins his 12th fight in a row. He successfully defends that title for the first time since 2014. The first person to do it since 2014. Do you remember who did it back on October of 2014?
Putting me on the spot. Jose Aldo.
Yes, of course. Jose Aldo against Chad Mendes in Brazil. Remember that night? Here we go. The blessed era is upon us.
April 7th, 2018, UFC 223, Khabib versus Iaquinta, Brooklyn, New York. Originally booked as Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Tony Ferguson for the undisputed UFC lightweight title, Ferguson is forced to pull out of the bout due to a knee injury. Max Holloway steps in on very late notice to face Nurmagomedov in an attempt to be the second ever simultaneous multiple weight class UFC world champion.
They keep talking about 6 days notice. It's a short. He's taking a short notice fight against me. How are you gonna get ready for 6 days for me, Khabib? That's the real question. And everybody keep asking about my weight. The weight is good. After the fight, 30 more pounds. 30 more pounds. Two sides. We're walking out of the octagon, baby.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, I agree with him. I agree. You guys remember when John Jones don't take fight versus Chael Sonnen, like 1 week or 9 days? I didn't remember. He said, this is different stylistic fighter. This, of course, for me, it's not easy to, everybody talk about him. He's right, because I all the time focus to Tony. Now they give me one of the best, he have one of the best win streak of all time in UFC. He's not smaller than me. Now he's bigger than me. I want to give him respect. He take this fight, but 1 week ago he vacation, drink beer, everything. But hey, I am training for 5-round fight. This guy have to knock me out.
Hey,
if he don't knock me out,
I was getting ready.
If this guy don't knock me out, it's gonna be big night for him. It's gonna be big night. He have to knock me out, and that's it. How he gonna beat me? Hey,
I've been training.
He make tired all the time his opponents. He make tired all the time his opponents. Like Aldo, Pettis, like other guys. He make tired and he win.
It is.
How we gonna make? Hey,
we're gonna find out Saturday night.
How we gonna make?
We're gonna find out Saturday night, baby.
We'll see.
Let's go.
Sorry. Could you tell us how much you weigh right now?
That is also a secret.
Wow. Why so many secrets?
Why? So when you're a musician, you don't tell everybody your tricks, just like reporters, you don't tell us where you get your source from. Come on, this is like Hollywood. If I told you, there's either two things: you can think I'm lying, or you won't believe me. So it's.
Wow.
Unfortunately, Holloway is forced to pull out of the fight on the morning of weigh-ins due to weight-cutting complications. July 7th, 2018, UFC 226, Miocic versus Cormier, Las Vegas, Nevada. Max Holloway is set to face Brian Ortega with the UFC's 145-pound championship on the line as the co-main event for UFC 226.
Max, you had that tough weight cut in April, trying to get down to 55. Was there any fear or concern that it could affect this weight cut, turning around, doing it again so sooner than the last one?
Not at all, man. It is what it is. Things happen, stuff happen. We was right there to make it, we was right there to go. We was ready to go, as doctors came in and they stopped it. So it is what it is.
Do you think you could have made it if they hadn't stopped it?
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah. Mark Raimondi here for MMAfighting.com with Sean Al-Shadi. We're in Las Vegas. A little bit of breaking news. Not good news, Sean. Max Holloway is out of UFC 226 due to concussion-like symptoms. Going to, off the top, read the statement that Max Holloway's management team, Sucker Punch Entertainment, sent out to the media, beginning with Ariel Helwani of ESPN earlier tonight, just really a few minutes ago here. Las Vegas is about 10 p.m. local time. The statement reads as follows. Max's team and UFC staff noticed Max was not normal since late last week. This became obvious to many watching his interviews and public appearances in the past few days. He was showing concussion-like symptoms before he even started his weight cut and was rushed to the ER on Monday, where they admitted him overnight. Initial scans seemed okay, and he was released Tuesday afternoon, but symptoms still continued. Max fought with his team to continue with the fight. He showed some improvement over the next day, but was still showing obvious symptoms. After open workouts, he crashed. And this is where it gets a little scary, Sean. After open workouts, he crashed and was very hard to wake up. When he did, he had flashing vision and slurred speech. He is now back in the ER for further tests. Now, Sean, there's a couple things that stand out. I mean, there's a lot of things that stand out about that statement.
Yeah.
Obviously, this seems very severe, very, very significant. One was that Monday, 2 days ago now, locally in Las Vegas, Max Holloway was in the hospital already in the ER. And the second thing is, after open workouts, where we saw him just a few hours ago at the MGM Grand, he was hard to wake up after the open workouts. Flashing vision, slurred speech. These are
not what you want to hear.
These are not positive signs. The fight is off. We know that for sure. But how frightening are some of these things that are being reported now about Max Holloway?
It's scary, man. It's really, really scary.
December 8th, 2018, UFC 231, Holloway versus Ortega, Toronto, Canada. The UFC featherweight champion, Max Holloway, and #1 contender and undefeated Brian Ortega are rebooked as the main event at the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto.
Everybody keep talking about Brian and this and that. Everything the guy did, I did better. He's on what, 6-fight win streak? I got 12. He beat a champion, I beat 2. And I beat one of them twice. You know, so at the end of the day, the Blessed Express is going around in a circle. We laughing you, bro. You know, and little brother, and I'm younger than you, so, you know, congratulations.
And just quickly for Brian, when you hear him say that everything you did, he did better, do you have a response?
Sometimes the best response is no response.
Sometimes you don't have a response, so.
Someone is still delirious.
What'd he say?
I said you're still delirious. I always tell everyone right now lately, especially because it's the most common question, at the end of the day, I really do care about your health and how you are and how you're doing. I know you got a son. I mean, bullshit aside, you know, I know we're fighting all that shit, but I do hope you're all right. He's all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, that, for me, that, you know, it ain't cool if you step in there and you're not physically all right or something's going on. You know, I wouldn't want me to step in there. I wouldn't want him to step in there, especially you got a family. I got my family. So, like I said, I did worry about him. I do. I pray for you, swear to God. And we're going to give you guys the show you guys deserve. And nothing's going to happen.
Holloway defeats Ortega by doctor stoppage at the end of 4 rounds, capping off another masterful performance.
You know, when you're in there, you see things. You know, I just felt his energy dropping every round. I heard his coaches talking, you know, in the first couple rounds, and he'd push, and then, you know, around like the 3rd round and stuff, I heard his coaches talking, and there's no push anymore, you know. And then when I was coming out of the 3rd round, I told Joe, this is the round. Get ready to come in and talk to me. And then when I didn't get the finish, I walked straight to Joe. I was like, this close, maybe next one. And then when they called the fight, I jumped the cage. The first guy I talked to was Joe. I was like, hey, I guess I was right. I take it back. We was there.
Thanks, Max.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. All done?
Can I see a picture?
Yeah, please.
Max, you can write. Thank you.
April 13th, 2019, UFC 236, Holloway versus Poirier 2, Atlanta, Georgia. For the second time in his UFC career, the featherweight champ will attempt to face Dustin Poirier. However, this fight takes place in the lightweight division and the stakes are much higher, with the winner being crowned the new UFC interim lightweight champion.
Man, you are moving up to 155, and that is the big story of this week. Just what is the best part of life at 155 so far for you?
The best part of life at 155 so far for me right now is eating. Yeah. I get to eat. You know, I eat a lot at 45, but I get to eat a lot more at 55. So it's great. You know, eating and just it's just fun. You know, it's just fun. 55 is 55 is still a cut. You know, but it's not a 45 cut, and 45 ain't really that hard. You know, everybody keep giving me a hard time about the weight and blah blah this and that. You know, never ever have I missed weight in my career. You know, doctors came in and stopped it. You know, I don't know what for the first time, and other times wasn't even weight related. So I'm just happy here to make history. You know, like people keep telling me I have the chance to be the 4th champ. That is a lie. I'm gonna be the first champ, and I'm also gonna be the first guy to win an interim in 2 different weight classes. And then I'm also going to be a guy that's also going to be the first headlining of the ESPN Plus pay-per-view card. So there's a bunch of history that's going to go on Saturday night, and we're about to drop a video of how you can download the app and buy the fight.
You're just setting records all over the place.
Record setter. Nah. It is what it is. It comes with the game. You know, when you want to be great and you got a goal and you got a plan, all these things is going to come along with it. So, you know, I'm just here for the ride. I can't wait. I'm excited, and I can't wait to go into that octagon on Saturday night and show the world why I'm one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world.
In one of the best lightweight title fights in UFC history, Max Holloway loses by unanimous decision.
Max Holloway, man, he didn't end up stopping Dustin, but he definitely hurt him a few times. And that cardio, that fabled cardio, it held up. He battled back, like you said, in the middle rounds. You know, I saw some people online making the case that Max actually took 3 of them. He took all the middle rounds. Dustin took the bookends. I think you can see that. I personally scored it for Dustin, but sensational fight and just an excellent capper for the night.
Were you surprised at Max's durability? He took some heavy shots from you.
Yeah, you know, I was surprised I hurt him that quickly in the first, and it looked like his legs were definitely gone. You know, he took a couple steps back and started wobbling, and I've seen a lot of Max's fights. I've never seen him really hurt like that, so I went a little crazy trying to put him away, which has got me in trouble in past fights. But the guy's so tough, man. This was my 40th fight tonight, and there's only been 2 fights that my hands, they're going to be swollen and hurting tomorrow. There was a Gaethje fight and now Max.
July 27th, 2019, UFC 240, Holloway versus Edgar, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Max Holloway is set to defend his featherweight title against the former UFC lightweight champion Frankie Edgar as the main event at Rogers Place in Edmonton.
But the motivation never ever crushed the motivation. The boy's always motivated, and Frankie's Frankie, man. If you don't give this guy the respect he deserved, he did something that was unthinkable, unheard of in a division higher than us when he was a much smaller dude. So I can't wait. You know, these are the fights that excite me. You know, the man's a legend. The man's a legend. If he's not a Hall of Famer, he's a future Hall of Famer. If not, he's definitely a Hall of Famer in my eyes, at least. And you know, nothing but respect for him.
Holloway defeats Edgar in a definitive, unanimous decision.
Max has pretty much done everything Jose's been able to do, beating the old guard, like Jose's beat Ricardo Lamas. Max has done that. Jose Aldo is beating Frankie Edgar. Max has done that. He's pretty much beating all of the old guard of the featherweight division. Yes, he has that Brian Ortega one, which is this new face, this new breath of fresh air. Huge. It was not only was huge, it was dominant in a fight that people were expecting a very competitive fight. So he has a lot of contenders now with Zabit and Yair and Alexander Volkanovski. So it's pretty much 1A, 1B right now. But Max Holloway with another absolutely beautiful performance against Frankie Edgar.
What does it mean to you? You praised him so much leading up to this fight. It was all respect afterwards. What does it mean to have his name on your resume now?
It means a lot. You know, without the guys like Frankie Edgar, you wouldn't have guys like me. Frankie Edgar was the inspiration. You know, Drake said, train till your idols become your rivals, you know, and we're here. and he's a beast. You know, you can't take nothing away from Frankie. He's still a legend. He's been in top 5 forever in 2 different weight classes, in a weight class where he was very undersized. Boy looked kind of big today though, but it was super fun. You know, it was super fun. You know, like I said, I'm trying to be the best pound for pound fighter in the world, not the best featherweight in the world. I'm trying to be the best pound for pound fighter in the world, and Frankie's one of the guys to help me one step towards that goal. All I kept hearing was I wasn't gonna be able to handle Frankie's pace. I wasn't gonna be able to handle his wrestling. I fought no one like Frankie before. So I had in my plan, in my mind, I wanted to go out there and show everybody why I was the best in the world and why Blessed Express and the Blessed Arrows stood in full effect. So I went out there, control the fight, and show everybody, look, I don't have to be in these wars and this stuff. You know, it's fun sometimes, but sometimes, you know, not looking like the guy from Goonie is great too. So we got some business stuff. We got some business stuff to do after this fight, and I couldn't be too beaten up. You know, the last fight I had this big scar on my face, and yeah, I don't like it. Rush teases me all the time, so it's kind of horrible. Yeah, how you feel about how did Daddy look good tonight?
Pretty good.
Pretty good? What was pretty good?
Your punches.
Oh, just pretty good. I'm kind of mad. He's not getting chocolate wasted tonight, guys. I am. I'm taking all the goodies that you guys saw and embedded.
December 14th, 2019. UFC 245. Usman versus Covington, Las Vegas, Nevada. The reigning UFC featherweight champion Max Holloway is booked to defend his belt against the surging Australian Alexander Volkanovski as the co-main event at the blockbuster year-end UFC pay-per-view.
That goal. Next year, mate, I'm looking to be the greatest featherweight of all time. So a lot of people are twisting my words and saying that, I'm looking through Max and I want a rematch. I was actually saying that, you know, I'm looking to be the greatest featherweight, and if I have to beat him again, then that's what I'll do to prove to the world that I'm the greatest featherweight of all time.
What do you think? A lot of people have been saying that you are a terrible matchup for Max Holloway on paper. I've seen it everywhere, really. Yeah. A lot of people are saying this. You must believe that yourself.
Oh, 100%. And well, I know that. So I know I'm a terrible matchup, and I've always known that. Maybe these people are starting to jump on board because they've seen him lose and they know he's not invincible, but it's even deeper than that. Just his style and his game that he's so good at, and don't get me wrong, it's very effective, and I use that as well in my fights, but that obviously doesn't work with me. He can't approach this fight the way he has, and he probably still will because he's such a gamer. But I mean, if he's going to come at me like that and think he can grind me down and punch me in volume and, you know, outstrike me like that, he's got another thing coming. You know, obviously I'm very powerful, and if he's going to come at me like that and I get to sit on my punches, I hit very hard. And if you're going to do all the work for me and let me, you know, obviously the shots are going to be there, the power, the punches, overhands, you name it. I get to just play what's in front of me, and I get to enjoy this fight. Obviously it's going to be a tough one. Like I said, it's going to be still back and forth. I still think that. I know I'm going to land some big shots and he's still going to come at me, but I think his game, he'll realise that it's not going to work with me pretty early in that fight. I've got a lot of respect for him. He's a great champion. He had that blessed era, but that changes, and that all ends December 14th.
It's like GSP once said, you know, it's harder to defend a title than win it, because if you think about it, when you fighting for a title, you're trying to earn something brand new, and then when you're defending a title, you're just trying to re-earn something that you already have, you know, and it is what it is, you know. That's when me and my team would sit down and we look for questions and what these guys, we look for challenges and this and that, and we look for things that excite me, and excite me is asking questions, you know. It's everybody keep talking about how this guy has power, you know. Everybody say, oh, Max, you're taller, but the guy got the reach. You know, I got little T-Rex arms. I don't know what's going on. A lot of people's like, you're tall, you have the reach, Max, use your jab. I'm like, guys, look at the reach. My reach is shorter than everybody I fought, except for probably Frankie. But, you know, at the end of the day, I'm just excited. You know, I'm excited. Every fight to me is a championship fight. I told you guys before I was a champ that I thought I was in championship fights, and that's the way I carried myself. And that's the way I'm going to continue to carry myself, you know. And with him saying that he's the one that's gonna do this and that, you need that confidence. I want to fight a confident guy, you know. And he's across the octagon come December 14th because of that confidence, and I look forward to it.
Volkanovski defeats Holloway by unanimous decision and snaps Holloway's 14-fight featherweight win streak. Alexander the Great Volkanovski is the new UFC featherweight champion.
Yeah, you know, the first round, it always takes me a round or two to start get going, you know, but yeah, so I was wanting to feel him out, you know. I was talking about how strong he was, how powerful he was, so we was playing that game, you know. I wanted to see, and I felt like I was having success from like mid-second round to all the way third, fourth, fifth, and at the end of the day, it just wasn't enough. I mean, I try to finish every fight, you know. I go out there, I try to fight my fight. I definitely felt him slowing from third, fourth, and then even the fifth, you know. He was talking a bunch in like the middle rounds, and then fourth and fifth, he wasn't really talking too much. So I felt like I was finding my way, you know. I thought I was finding my way, and man, I fought wrong. I thought the first round I was filling him out, so he did what he did in the first round. Second round, I thought I was taking over, and then 3, 4, 5, I thought it was mine, but so in other ways, you know, there's only three opinions that matter. Like the great Burt Watson said, don't leave that shit to the judges. They'll make you cry. So they made me cry twice in 2019. So that's choo-choo forward to 2020. New year, new me.
Man, it was a tough one for me. Again, I stay so composed in there. I've got a job to do, right? When I'm in there, and I've always said that I keep myself so level-headed and composed. So going through, I was just taking every round and talking to them. I'm going, how's it going? They're going, it's going good, it's going good. So, you know, I thought it was reasonably close. Obviously, I thought I was winning, but I didn't know. But my corner were done a really good job of letting me know that and not getting caught up into his game. And as the rounds go on, they're telling me to keep doing what I'm doing. So I've got full faith in them. Game plan was working well. My shins are a little sore, but, you know, the game plan went well. So it was good. Again, I was saying, like, you know, we're both very high level. You know, it was a chess match in there. And, yeah, I got the job done. A lot of people keep asking me about, oh, yeah, with Poirier, he done this. You know, these are things that you've seen him do that you could use. I'm like, yeah, we've seen stuff, but we're seeing things that Max winning, we seen why he's winning, like things that work really good for him. You know, when we look that deep. And, yeah, like I said, we think we've got a formula, and I've got that style as well. So when he really wanted to pour it on, I was just getting out of range, or I'd let him run into some of my shots. And then obviously them leg kicks were there, and that gas tank, I've got the gas tank. We were sitting there talking in there. I was like, hey, we're both fresh. We're both fresh in there, like, you know what I mean? So, again, there's a couple of little mental and physical games in there, but I mean, it was good fun.
July 11th, 2020, UFC 251, Yas Island, Abu Dhabi. The champion, Alexander Volkanovski, is set to defend his title for the first time in an immediate rematch against the 28-year-old and now former champion Max Holloway on Fight Island.
When the pandemic first happened, I made a stay-at-home video. I made a social distancing video, you know, like, what am I supposed to do? Contradict myself, you know? My nickname not Starburst. My nickname is Bless, you know? So at the end of the day, that's what we did. We did the right choices. I put family first, and everything else I knew would fall into place. You know, MMA, mixed martial arts, is all about adapting. And that's what we did. We just adapt. We always wanted to be in front of the pack and never ever in the middle. And we're adapting, and I believe we stood me in the pack.
In one of the most underrated and closest title fights in UFC history, Holloway loses by controversial split decision.
And look, there's no way you could call this a robbery, Jose. Like, if Holloway got the nod, I wouldn't have been upset. Volkanovski getting it, that doesn't upset me either. What did you think of the featherweight title fight and how the decision went?
I had Max winning. I can't remember the exact scores I had, the exact rounds I had, but I had him winning. I thought it was pretty obvious. Max won. It's not a robbery because at the end of it, I'm like, that was a really, really close fight. The problem is, in my mind, Max clearly won the first two. I think that's obvious. He won the first two. I had a bunch of knockdowns. But then when the rounds that Volkanovski won, which would be 3, 4, 5, I think on the judges' scorecards, I don't think he clearly won any of those. I think in the fourth round, I was looking at this, I'm like, Max could be up 4-0. Or it could be 2-2. Like, that's how close this is right now. But Volkanovski won, and Max is now 0-2 against the champion. It's a weird time to be a featherweight because you got a quote unquote like this champion that's on the super long run, that's looked uber impressive, beats Holloway twice, beats Aldo, and then now we can go out to these bigger fights. But you're always getting in the back of your mind like, yo, you lost that second fight to Holloway. I wish it didn't go that way.
Yeah, well, obviously fourth and fifth, I'm pretty confident most people would know I clearly won them. That third round was probably a little bit closer out of the three last ones, but obviously the takedowns and a lot of my shots I feel like were better shots anyway, to be quite honest. But then first two rounds again, I'm a realist. I'll tell you, I believe that he started off well, but I come back from the third onwards. Again, I showed what champions are made of. This sport isn't easy, and sometimes you're going to be put in these positions and. Only certain champions can dig deep like I did, and again, I'm proud that I dug deep and got the job done and bring this back home to Australia and to my family.
October 10th, 2020, UFC Fight Night, Moraes versus Sandhagen, Yas Island, Abu Dhabi. The 23-year-old Ilia Topuria makes his promotional debut opposite Yusuf Salal. Topuria wins by decision and moves his record to 9 wins with no losses. Topuria will follow that up with a knockout victory at the UFC Apex in Las Vegas against Damon Jackson 2 months later. Performances of the night, Mowgli Benitez and Jordan Levitt.
Yeah.
$50,000.
Not too surprising. Topuria again really would have been probably another candidate. That KO again, it was 6 hours ago now, so no one remembers it. But holy cow, this guy's good.
Throw him to the top 20 right now. Like I don't want to wait.
Absolutely.
Kind of like throw him right to the top 20. January 16th, 2021. UFC on ABC 1. Holloway versus Cater. Yas Island, Abu Dhabi. The former champion Max Holloway is set to face up-and-coming striker Calvin Kattar in the main event on Fight Island, a historic card, which was the first to air on ABC.
I'm just excited, man. I'm excited, we find out that we got fans. I find out that we're on ABC, and then we also find out that I'm the first main event in that new arena. So it's a bunch of pluses, I can't wait, and like I said, fighting is fighting. A fighter is a fight to me, and I can't wait to go out there Saturday night and do my thing. And even being the first fight, in 3 weeks, coming back, we the first one of the year and first fight with fans since March of last year. So it's just what a time to be alive, I'm excited that I get to be in this opportunity, and I can't wait to go out there and do my thing.
In an unbelievable striking display, Holloway lands a record 445 significant strikes over the 25-minute dominant decision. Is Max Holloway officially the greatest featherweight in UFC history after his performance against Calvin Kattar?
I think you have to give him that. I think he had a reason to be called that before this. The way that he obviously we would have said it was Jose Aldo before that, right? But the way that he was able to handle Jose Aldo on 2 occasions, and then what I was thinking about tonight was, and he mentioned it a couple times in this fight press conference, his journey to that first title shot is unparalleled. I think, at least in that division, that guy has earned every iota of success that he's had, and it's interesting to call someone the greatest of all time after dropping 2 fights to the champ, right? But given his run up to the title, given his title reign, unless Alex Volkanovski is able to hang on to that title for an even longer period, which is possible, he might go on and do that. But right now, yeah, I'm comfortable saying that Max Holloway is the best featherweight.
Just blessed to be on ABC, blessed to be have fans back, blessed to be the first card of the year. Blessed to have to be here in Etihad Arena the first time, and to be the first main event and sent some numbers. I found out I hit him 700 something times or something. Like that's pretty cool, So I feel great, man. I was in my bag today. I felt good. Everything was rolling, and I got some of the baddest mans behind me. So that's what happens. As long as you can take it, I'm gonna give it. As long as you can take it, I'm gonna give it. As long as the ref lets you stay in there, I'm gonna keep giving it. The fight don't stop until the bell stops. So I just kept punching. Kept punching, and I was telling my coaches, I was kind of tripping out. I didn't know I punched that much. I was like, in my mind, I thought I was like throwing like 10 or 15. I was like, God, like only 10, 15 or even 20 punches a round. I was like, why am I getting so tired? And then after I heard the record, I was like, oh, that's probably why. I got to go back to math. I think third grade math is hurting my brain a little bit, so I'm counting off. Rush is rubbing on me. I had a chip on my shoulder. I wanted to prove that one night boxing is, we kind of different. We a little different than these guys, and I got to go out there. You know, I got to do that little thing. I just saw UFC post a clip. That was pretty cool. I slipped a couple punch. I did the no-look right hand, and then I told him what because he missed all his punches. So it was, I was just having the time of my life, man. It was super fun. Save y'all chickens. Save y'all chickens. Right here. You guys only get one brain. Save it. You guys don't need to do it. You sparred enough. You train enough. We know how to punch somebody. You know how to slip a punch. Why are you gonna take unnecessary damage before the main game? You know, and that's just the way I think. You know, and everybody who keep telling me that when I'm on my stream and they come through my Facebook, fb.gg/Max Holloway official, come through live streams, baby. And everybody who tell me I should be training, no. I've been training, baby. When I play games, leave me alone. I want to play video games. So, yeah, please protect your guys' head. If I got to tell an uppercomer coming, be smart, figure out a way of taking less damage. You want to be in this game for a long time. And I want to have more kids. You know, I got Rush, little Rushy Boo Boo, and then I want more kids, man. So I want to be around for a long time for them.
Would you at least consider Max for a third fight the way he looked tonight?
I think we have to. I mean, when you're the champion, you have the top 5 guys in the world gunning at you, right? When you're the number 1 contender in the world, you got the top 10 guys in the world. And sometimes number 8 is more dangerous than number 3. Tonight he fought a bad dude that a lot of people thought was going to beat him, and he went out and treated him like number 6. So he did what he needed to do in spectacular fashion tonight, and I think that he deserves to fight Volkanovski again.
I want legacy fights. I want big fights. I want fights like this. We're on ABC. I want history. So it's belt, no belt, whatever it is. You know, I want to fight. I want to fight. The champ is saying that he wanted a different fight. Like I said it earlier. He didn't want a tougher fight. I want tough fights. I want the best. You guys think someone's the best fighter in the world? You guys tell me. Let me know. I'll sign that dotted line.
July 10th, 2021, UFC 264, Poirier versus McGregor 3, Las Vegas, Nevada. Ilia Topuria makes his pay-per-view debut on the prelims against grappling phenom Ryan Hall.
I just want to enjoy. I just want to get that win, and I want the people to enjoy, because I don't come here to people to bored. I come here to make a people enjoy. I don't come here to people to hate me. I want them to love me. So I come here to put a performance for him.
Topuria brutalizes the overmatched leg locker and knocks him out late into round 1 to remain undefeated. November 13th, 2021, UFC Vegas 42, Las Vegas, Nevada. Max Holloway makes his UFC Apex debut in the main event against dynamic Mexican striker Yair Rodriguez. Holloway wins by decision and earns himself another opportunity at the UFC featherweight title.
Insane. It's one of the best fights I've ever seen. And the fact that Yair was off for 2 years, comes in and puts on a performance like this is unheard of. I mean, it's unheard of. It was incredible. And then Max, I didn't think he was going to make it out of the second round with the calf kicks. And then after he, made it into the 5th round, I'm like, he's probably not going to be able to walk out of the octagon by himself. He's walking around back there like nothing even happened. He said his leg is fine. He just told me, I just saw him back there. I said, you are a lunatic. It's unbelievable how tough this guy is. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things. They were razor thin. He just comes in and puts on a performance like this. It's just, this is a guy that Volkanovski is going to have to just get him out of the way and do it again. You know what I mean?
March 19th, 2022, UFC Fight Night, Volkov versus Aspinall, London, England. After being forced to cancel his last featherweight fight the day of weigh-ins due to weight cut issues in January, Ilia Topuria is booked in a lightweight bout against Englishman Jai Herbert. The heavy favorite overcame early adversity, but ended the fight with a knockout of the year contender right hook in round 2.
So why not just stay at 55?
Yeah.
No more 45.
Because my goal is to take that belt because I want to take that belt, you know. I want to finish the business I started in 145. I want to kill everyone there and then move up to 155 and go for another belt.
So your next fight, if you fight Patty, it will have to be at 55 again, right?
Yeah, no weight limits.
Right.
For me, it doesn't matter.
Okay, so your days of fighting at 45 aren't over, but this one obviously 55, and then you want that one.
Yeah, I will be fighting in 145 and 155. You're gonna see him in both weight classes.
July 2nd, 2022, UFC 276, Adesanya versus Cannonier, Las Vegas, Nevada. The former featherweight title holder and now challenger takes on the reigning champion Alexander Volkanovski for the third time.
I always told myself that the belt doesn't define you. You know, I'm a champion. I've been telling everybody that I'm going to be a champion, and I was a champion since when I first got into the UFC. You know, that's just the way that you got to carry yourself. You know, if you don't carry yourself that way, then why are you fighting? You know, are you fighting to be the second best in the world? That makes no sense. You know, so I keep telling myself that I'm the best and I'm the champ, and you know, it is what it is. If you disagree, then we can figure it out in the octagon. It's crazy, you know. When in the last decade, you know, did this fight happen where two top guys in the top 10 pound for pound rankings happen? How many times did it happen? You know, I mean, the only guys that come to mind is DC and Jones. You know, that's the only guys. You know, and we're here now. You know, this fight, these things don't happen. You know, and these are the things that excite me. You know, we get to be a part of that history, and to you guys, to all the hardcore fans, this is what they want. They want the best of the best fighting each other, and here they are. You know, these top pound for pound fighters don't fight each other. They just don't. It doesn't happen. You know, it happens every so often in a decade, and we're getting blessed with one right now.
No, all week, all I heard was you guys talking about damage. We're talking about damage here. Oh, you guys, damage this, damage that. I'm known for taking damage, and he's known for not giving it, so let's get it.
Hey, we're going to see Saturday night, right? That's the beauty of it. That's why you can't spar anymore, because you're punching the head too much.
I can't hear you. Let him have him, Nine Island. Let him have him. Let him have it. Let him have it.
Oh, good.
I can't hear you to the noise,
all
brother.
day.
I can't hear shit.
Hey, I love it.
I can't hear shit, brother.
Hey, you 2-0, about to be 3-0. Let's fucking go.
It's Saturday night, baby.
Hey, I want to say, booze, the booze, everything, the energy in here, I love it. I'm feeding
I love it too. The
Bring it on.
booze, the yes, let's get it.
I love it.
Volkanovski dominates Holloway and wins a lopsided unanimous decision.
Obviously, a finish is always good, but I mean, for people to expect a finish with a fight like this, we're both durable, both tough, we're both smart. You know what I mean? It's, again, a legendary chin that I wanted to crack, and it stays legendary again. So credit to him.
December 10th, 2022, UFC 282, Blachowicz versus Ankalaev, Las Vegas, Nevada. Ilia Topuria is booked in his first main card appearance on a UFC pay-per-view. The undefeated Georgian will be facing his toughest competition to date in top 10 ranked grappling specialist and 15-0 Bryce Mitchell.
Yeah, he's undefeated for a reason. I'm undefeated for a reason too. So he's got grappling skills. It's really good, but mine's is even better.
Do you think it becomes a grappling match, which I think a lot of people want to see, or do you think the grappling cancels out and you guys end up standing and trading?
Of course not, because he's don't going to be able to take me down, and I'm gonna strike with him because I'm way better than him in the striking. So I'm gonna put his lights out on Saturday night. I think after this fight, I'm gonna face someone from top 5. Probably, from top 5, and I want to fight for the title as soon as possible. Yeah, and then move up to 155 maybe. We'll see what's gonna happen.
What I did to you in your country, try to do it in Spain. You were born in Germany, you're gonna see what's gonna happen to you. You're a little mongrel. Shut up. That's what you are. You're a little mongrel. Shut up. If not, I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna crash your face right here. Do it then, you little fart. You have another question? Do it. Do it then, you little pussy. What? Do it. Do it. Come on, do something then. Do something, stand up. What'll you do? You'll do nothing. You'll do nothing, you little fart. Go and sit back down. Sit back down, you little pussy. Puta.
Fucking pussy. Fuck. Everything he talks.
You little mushroom. You little chorizo, you fucking Spanish sausage.
You fucking pussy.
Topuria dominates Mitchell and ends the fight by arm triangle in round 2.
The very first punch he landed, like, Bryce looked very uncomfortable. And then I went back and looked after it because I hadn't really considered this. Bryce hasn't been hit a ton in his UFC career. Like, he's been hit like a total before this fight, like a total of 100 times. Half of that came in his tough debut, but like not against big hitters. The good hitters he's faced, he took them down immediately. Like Edson Barbosa got like 5 strikes on him. Charles Rosa got like 3 strikes on him. He hasn't been hit by a dude really, and he looked very unhappy being hit by Ilia Topuria, and I can't blame him. We all saw what happened to Jai Herbert. I don't want to get punched by that man. And yeah, nobody at featherweight should want to fight this dude. Nobody should want to do it. There are like maybe 5 featherweights I would pick to beat him in a fight right now. This dude's awesome, and he's 25. He is only getting better, baby.
Did you say you were going to leave his head as flat as he thinks the earth is before this fight?
Yeah, and I did it.
April 15th, 2023. UFC Fight Night, Holloway versus Allen, Kansas City, Missouri. Blessed is now set to face up-and-coming prospect, the 19-1 Arnold Allen in the main event. Holloway wins a competitive decision.
I just wanted to be great in something. I don't know what it was, but in my mind, I just wanted to be. Whatever I think I did, I wanted to be the greatest at it and keep going, you know, and then try and change the generation. No, it's I mean, I'm sure you heard it. It's just generational curses. That's what it is. That's why, like, some of these guys can't see out of their little box that they live in. Like, this is the way. Like, since my parents did this, I gotta do this.
Right.
Since my friends is going to this party, I gotta go to this party. You know how much parties and whatever, when I was like a young kid, I had to like skip out on, you know what I mean? I was like, bro, I'm good, I'm training tomorrow, I gotta wake up early.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And they'll be like, yeah, come on, you can train later. Nah, it's good, you know what I mean? It's okay. It comes to a point where you can have that fun, but that wasn't that time, you know? Now you can let loose a little bit here and there because you need to, but there are certain times and places where you can take it, and I saw the bad road and I saw the good road, you know? And I saw people who take the good road, then go back to the bad road too,
right.
You know? It wasn't always like all bad, and I saw people doing bad and then they hit the good road, and I see people doing great now, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's never ever how you start the race, it's how you finish. So I always tell people, just finish strong, and whatever is hold belief to you, you're gonna fail. You're going to fail. That's just it. That's what I mean. Like, everybody's like, oh, how do you do it? Blah, blah, this and that. It's like, brother, I couldn't even tell you because I didn't even think about it, but I failed a bunch of times. I got like fucking seven losses, I think, next to my record. Does that make me any lesser person of anybody else? No, you know what I mean? Like, it's only losses if you don't learn, and I learned every single time, you know what I mean? Like, I try to tell somebody who's having hard times, like, bro, you may feel like you lost now, but turn this loss into a learning. Then you never truly lost, because look, you're going one step in the direction, you know? Sometimes you do feel like you take 1 step forward, 3 steps back, but that gotta happen, you know? Maybe the next leap is 10, so you don't know. You got 6 steps back, so that's the main thing. We're just trying to help somebody to just be the best they can be.
June 24th, 2023. UFC on ABC 5, Emmett versus Topuria, Jacksonville, Florida. Topuria is booked in his first main event opposite heavy-handed, top-ranked Josh Emmett. Topuria wins a dominant 25-minute decision, moving his overall record to 14-0 and 6-0 inside the UFC's octagon.
Have they told you that you are next?
So I didn't have any official conversation with the UFC, but my management team, they did. So yeah, I'm the next guy in the line. Always I step inside the cage, I finish my fights, or I get that 10-7 round. So
he was on my show on Wednesday, and I asked him about you, and he basically said, like, you know, he hopes that you don't fight anyone else because he doesn't want you to lose so that he can get to you first. And you reference other comments here. Are you feeling disrespected by any of these comments?
No, I didn't feel any disrespect from that. He can say whatever he wants to say. I know what's gonna happen when we're gonna face each other. He can say whatever he wants to say. It's like always. Every opponent, what they gonna say? No, he gonna beat me? No.
And you think that it will be an easy fight for you?
For me, yes.
For you,
it's going to be easy fight.
Really?
Yeah, because and I always said that before I even was ranked. I always said like every time I'm gonna move up in the rankings, every fight is going to be like more easy for me. And why? Why? Because it's more easy to have a game plan against guys who are like more technical, that fight with someone who is unpredictable. You know, it's difficult to have a game plan with someone like them. And the guys who are not ranked, like they are not really technical. You don't know what they're gonna do. You know. So you saw what happened with me to me when I faced Jai Herbert. You know, I was in stand up. He threw me a kick from nowhere. You know. So it surprised me, but with guys like who are like more technical, guys who doing like more regular like combinations, it's more easy to have a game plan against them.
If Volkanovski fights Islam and the UFC says, hey, we want to keep you active, we want you to fight someone else, what would you do in that situation?
Max Holloway.
Okay.
That's the only two names I have right now in my mind. Volkanovski, whenever they want, and I don't care about the place. And with Max Holloway in Spain. Yeah, I would love that fight too, with Max Holloway.
And whenever you fight Volkanovski, and we suspect it's inevitable, officially, prediction on the record, the clip that we can play leading up to the fight, what is your official prediction? How do you beat him?
So my official prediction, I was thinking a lot about that. I was like doing my imaginations in my mind. So I see like knock him out in the first 2 rounds. Yeah, I see myself knock him out. Maybe in the first round.
Wow.
Because he's that type of fighter who goes forward, you know? And you can go forward with me. You can do that. And especially if you have that boxing style, you know?
Yeah.
The striker. I'm gonna finish in the first round.
August 26th, 2023, UFC Fight Night, Holloway versus the Korean Zombie, Singapore. Max Holloway is booked in yet another main event, this time against the wily veteran, the Korean Zombie.
You mentioned Korean Zombie, and then he posted a video responding to you and saying he would love to fight.
I saw.
Did you see the video? Yeah. What did you think of it?
Yeah, I would love to. You know, I wasn't disrespecting. I remember he was calling me out after he beat, I forget who he fought in the Apex. He beat somebody, but it was on the UFC Journey or whatever the UFC thing was called that time. It's called UFC Journey now. But he was saying that he wanted to fight me, and I always wanted to fight him. That's one of the guys that we never got to fight. We was the same guys coming up from that early, you know, that merger from WEC when he first started. I got to fight most of them guys, and he's the one that got away. So why not? I mean, I'd be a fan favorite, a fun one. I heard maybe there's something in Australia happening in later in this year or mid-year, so that'd be fun. I want to fight him, man. That was one of the guys I always wanted to fight. I always thought we was gonna fight, but the stars just never aligned, and I think so. The stars align now, and it would be a fun one. I think it would be a fun fight. You know, put us on a pay-per-view card, put us on a main event, whatever you want to do. We can fight 5 rounds, even if we're on a pay-per-view card. I don't care. You know, I just want to fight the guy. You know, that guy is that's definitely a legacy fight. That's a huge name, and I'd love to fight him.
The heavy favorite Holloway dominates and wins by knockout. The 36-year-old Korean Zombie would announce his retirement after the loss. This was about as fitting of an ending to an incredible career, especially from an excitement level for the Korean Zombie, was it not? Like, just emotions all around, everything that went into it. How did you react to the retirement, the fight, all of it? I just felt like it was so fitting.
It was fitting is the perfect word. Zombied up until the very end, right? I mean, I think we, like me in particular, right? I can only speak for me personally. Going into this fight, I felt a looming sense of dread that I think is very common for us to feel as consumers of the sport, fans of the sport, right? When it comes to our legends in these retirement fights, especially when they're fighting someone as good as Max, we've just been so conditioned to expect the worst, right? I coming in, I was just praying that this wasn't going to be a 5-round beatdown, a 5th-round TKO where Zombie takes another 300 shots in this career that he's already taken so many different shots, and it's just this depressing scene, and we get something like that. And instead, the man delivered as he always does. He went out on his shield as he always does, and really he went out on his own terms. And to me, I know he got knocked out. I mean, Casey, we were talking about this on the pre-show of how it, he got knocked out ultimately. So this was some sort of bad ending for him, but it did feel like there was a sense of satisfaction that came from it, right? Like he truly went out on his own terms in that second round to nearly get finished in the way he did, and then to storm back in the third and say, you know what, man, it really felt like Zombie flipped that switch and said, it's either going to be me or it's going to be you, Max, and we're going to figure this out real quick. And it played out that way, and it was incredible theater. It's one of the most exciting sequences we've seen all year from a man who has given us some of the most exciting sequences in the history of this sport. One of the most consistently exciting performers we've ever seen lace up a pair of 4-ounce gloves.
February 17th, 2024, UFC 298, Volkanovski versus Topuria, Anaheim, California. The champion, Alexander Volkanovski, is set to defend his belt against the undefeated Ilia Topuria.
Who doesn't want to fight me right now? Who not? I didn't become a UFC World Champion yet. I have 3 more days to do it. They are really calling me out. Everyone. Why?
Yeah, because they want to fight you.
Yeah.
And they're a big deal.
Yeah, red panty nights.
This week, for photos, you touched your belt the last time you did a face-off. What does it mean to you if you're gonna get that belt wrapped around you on fight night?
That's what I've always said. You want to earn your, not given to you. He took advantage of taking a photo with the belt, and like I said, you may as well take advantage of it now. You're never going to see it again. Not until I teach you a lesson. Maybe one day you could be a great champion. I'm going to kick your ass first. You'll learn your lesson. Maybe you can bounce back after that. But till then, get your hands off my belt.
Halfway through round 2, Topuria knocks out Volkanovski in devastating fashion with a right hook. The 15-0 Ilia Topuria is now the UFC featherweight champion.
Oh, nice combo! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Ilia Topuria!
Holy shit! Holy shit!
He can't even believe it. Oh my God.
And on Saturday, to me, it felt like something when Topuria knocked out Volkanovski. Because of who Volkanovski is, because of how good he was since 2019, since becoming champion in December of 2019, but in large part because of who Ilia Topuria is and how he conducts himself. I'll be honest, changing the bio, it's not my style. I'm not that cocky, I'm not that confident. 15-0, UFC featherweight champion, putting the belt around his waist all week, speaking like he was already the champion, that he was just gonna roll through Volk. I'm a very superstitious person, so I can't even wrap my head around that type of confidence, right? This guy walked the walk, talked the talk, and got it done. And what did we say before the fight? If he pulls this off, being as cocky as he is, as brash as he is, as confident as he is, and I don't say cocky in a negative way, he's putting it out there no different than Conor back in the day, putting it out there. If he actually gets it done, and doesn't just like squeak by, like gets it done, exclamation point, essentially what he did on Saturday, you've got a superstar on your hands. And he did all of that and more.
April 13th, 2024, UFC 300, Pereira versus Hill, Las Vegas, Nevada. Max Holloway makes his second promotional appearance at lightweight, this time on the blockbuster pay-per-view UFC 300, against one of the heaviest punchers and most exciting fighters to ever enter the cage, Justin Gaethje. And it will be for the baddest motherfucker in the game belt.
He will lose my respect if I don't try to fuck him up, and I would respect him. I would not respect him one bit if he didn't come in there and try to take my head off. That's what we do. I love this fucking shit. And if he was to take his foot off the pedal because he likes me or something, then that's some bitch shit, and there's no bitch shit in me or him. So we're gonna show out. We're gonna try to fuck each other up, and we're gonna respect each other after.
We're gonna go in there, hurt each other, and get a drink after. That's what's gonna happen.
And a bonus.
We're gonna go in there, we're gonna hurt each other, and go drink. I'm not taking it easy for no one. He's not taking it easy for
Come on, John.
And we're gonna get it done.
In maybe the best performance of his already Hall of Fame career, the 32-year-old, 32-fight veteran dominates the highlight over 4 9/10 rounds. With less than 10 seconds left in the 25-minute brawl, Holloway, who is clearly up on all of the scorecards, goes back into the archives of one of his most famous moments and points to the middle of the canvas, challenging Gaethje to just let it all go and swing for the fences. Gaethje unsurprisingly obliges, and with just 1 second left on the clock, Holloway delivers one of the most devastating and dramatic knockouts in UFC history. The former champion and all-time featherweight great Max Holloway has knocked out the knockout artist himself, Justin Gaethje, and is now the brand new BMF champion.
20 to go. Come on, Max. 15 seconds. Whoa, Gaethje, you crazy son-bitch. 8 seconds. They said go to the middle. Swing it out. Go to the middle and swing it out. Come on, Max. Come on, Max. It's over. It's over. Max Holloway just sparked out Justin Gaethje. Oh, he just killed him. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Justin Gaethje is unconscious face
down. Oh, my God.
That
was the sickest thing I've ever seen.
With 1 second left.
He said meet the middle of the octagon. He put him out cold. Oh, my God.
Whoa!
Holy shit!
If that's not a BMF moment, I don't know what is. If the cards was flipped and Justin was up, if he felt like he was up, I knew he would give me that 10-second shot. So he's a bad man, and I don't know if I ever gonna share the octagon with him again. He's a legend, brother. These are the type of fights. This is the type of stuff you do to etch your name in the history books. And I'm just happy that I was the one landing, you know. He missed some shots. I was getting hurt by the wind of his shots, but that's how hard he hit. This guy is he's the next level. I was counting out. People was telling me what I was doing. Justin was gonna be too big, too strong. Just a lot of stuff, you know. People need to get reminded, and I'd let them know. I let them know. I was telling people all week, bro, we're him. Well, I'm here, and you guys need a reminder. Everybody was talking about the haircut is back. I guess that his haircut is like going Super Saiyan or something. If you guys are anime fans, so. At the end of the day, it was just a huge moment for me, you know, being blessed enough to be in there, being UFC 300, having this event, brother. This event is gonna be talked about for ages, you know. I don't know what card is ever gonna have 12 or more champions on top of it, you know. So we might have to wait to 400 for that one, and that's a ways away.
And obviously you want that Ilia Topuria fight, but after how good you look tonight at 155, could you see a world where you call 155 home for the long term?
We see what happens, bro. We see what happens. I'll go sit with my team, and we have options, brother. I ain't in a rush. No, I ain't going nowhere. I'm only 32, brother. A lot of people watch me fight when I was 20 in this sport, and you guys think I'm like 41 or something. You guys think I'm DC's age. You know, I'm not. I'm 32. I'll be around for a long time. Get used to it.
October 26th, 2024, UFC 308, Topuria versus Holloway, Yas Island, Abu Dhabi. The 27-year-old Georgian fighting out of Spain, Ilia Topuria, is set to defend his title for the first time against the 32-year-old Hawaiian and former champion Max Holloway as the main event of UFC 308 in one of the most highly anticipated fights of 2024.